Hi, welcome to day 3 of the Conquer Canva challenge. I'm Julie Gibbons from tractorgirl.com.au, and today we're going to be talking about templates. Templates make your life easier and you can create things so much more quickly. So let's just get stuck into it and I will share my screen. Right, so let's just start off with a social media template. This is a square one, 800 pics by 800 pics. It's perfect for Instagram and also a whole bunch of other things. Facebook's fine with square things these days too. And before we get too much further, please, have you got your brand style guide set up? Because this will help you save so much time because all your colors are there, you've got your hex codes there, you've got your fonts sorted. You don't have to choose, you don't have to spend time choosing. Now, the importance of branding is that it creates recognition, and that's the whole point of, well, it's not the whole point, it's one really important point about having a brand, is that repetition creates recognition with your audience and your potential customers. So it's super important to have that there. And what it does also is it will project whatever feeling it is that you want your brand to project, and that is like it's a personality that you want your brand to project. So all of that stuff is why you need to have a brand style guide. Now, if you don't have one, if you're having struggles trying to figure that out, you're welcome to join my gorgeous graphics intensive, which will be on straight after this Conquer Canva challenge. And let's just get back over to our design. So we've got this, we need to put in a background color. So we'll go over here and we can either just copy that hex code there, or if you don't know the hex code of your colors, you just go in here, click on that, and if you click on here, the color that's highlighted will come up with its hex code down there. We'll just copy that and pop that in there, and Bob's your uncle. So easy. So let's go in and put in a square photo on top of that. If we don't have a square photo, I don't think I do. What I can do is go into elements and pop in a square photo frame. Now you will hold the shift key down to make sure that it resizes properly without any distortion. And then make sure it's bang in the center with those lines. You can see those magenta lines there. So now we can just go in and pop in go back into uploads and pop in our image. And just drag it around until that photo's in there. I think that might look nice with a little border around it. And what we can do then is pop our logo on top. Now, you don't actually have to have a logo. If you're just starting out in business, you don't even have to have anything except for a word mark. A word mark is just your name in a particular font. It's super easy to do. Use your brand font. Here I've got Lemon Tuesday. That's all I've done. Written Chill Star. That could be it. If you want to get a little bit fancier, you can just make a logo out of some of the letters within your brand name, and that's what I've done for this too. So I've done it in a couple of color variations, and that is because, can you see how that S disappears over the top of that white square? Well, that's not going to work. We can have a different color variation here. Pop that there. So it shows up. Right, now we can pop in some text. Just press the letter T and it'll pop in a text box. We can change that to our brand font. Now, what was our brand font? Okay, just go back over to our brand style guide here, and it's Josephine Sands for like our paragraph text. So we can use that, or we can use Josephine Slab Bold. We can use Josephine Sands. Just type that in. And that's another thing I really like about Canva too. You can search for your fonts there. You don't have to actually scroll through an endless, an almost endless list of fonts. There's not all of them there, of course. Yeah, there's millions of fonts. Okay, so we just pop in Josephine Sands, and we might make it a bit bigger. Just drag that out to make it bigger. Now, another thing you will discover in Canva 2 is the alignment. It's as simple as just clicking until you get the alignment that you want. And I might make that, oops, don't want to make it capitals. I do want to make it white. The reason I have made this font, this text right justified is because the picture is on the left. Good graphic design is built on balance, and you can ignore balance, you can choose to use it, you can deliberately ignore it, but you do need to think about it. All right, so can you see my little box around the text there? There's these spaces here, which means my full stop, which ends on the edge of my text, is actually in the corner on the right-hand side of that text. But before that, there is also spaces. And we need to fix them up so that all the text is sitting in the right spot. So delete the space and hit the return so that they're all sitting there properly. Alrighty, so there's one. Now we can copy that down just by hitting this copy page, and you'll have an exact copy there, and you can just use that to change the text if you want. And we might make that a bit bigger and bring it down a little bit. Again, I'm looking for balance. I'm looking for visual balance here. So that'll do for that one, and we can copy it down again. Within Canva 2, you can have up to 100 pages, which is a vast improvement on Canva 1, which is really important. Like if you're making a PDF, for instance, if you're making an ebook and you only had 30 pages to play in, well, that means that if your ebook was longer than 30 pages, you'd have to make it in 2 or 3 lots and have to stitch it together using another program, which is all fine and good, but it's just another step that you could probably do without. So Canva 2 makes that so much easier for you. You have up to 100 pages. So let's just add in some other things here. Let's add in some stripes. There's lots of ways to do this. One way is to create it yourself with a little box. And if I wanted to copy that, I can either go up here to copy it, or I can actually just Control C and Control V to paste it, and I'll get exactly the same shape. Now, the color, Control, oops, okay. That color is there. Change that color there. And we can just put in another piece of text here. If we wanted to do that one again, Control C, Control V to paste it, and you need to drag it fully onto the next canvas for it to show up. And we can add in our now I've just made this in, I mean, I've made it in Photoshop, but as with Pixlr yesterday, you can do this thing in Pixlr as well. You can just use your own fonts in Pixlr. You can create a word mark in Pixlr on a transparent background, which means you can load it up into Canva and put it anywhere you want. And the same is true for any of your URLs for your website or your Facebook page or whatever it is. If you want to include them on your graphic and you don't want to worry about having to type it every time, and you don't want to have to worry about spelling mistakes because that can happen every time you type it, create it as an image on a transparent background in Pixlr and then upload it into Canva, and then you just chuck it in as an image. It's so easy. Alrighty. And then you can just keep on copying down. So there you can have as many variations as you like. I would suggest that you have about 5 or 6 variations on your Canva template here. This is like, you know, for your social media posts. And you just mix them up, change the words every time. You can have more if you like, or fewer if you want, but because the point is you want to create recognition. You want to build up that sense of consistency. Consistency in your visuals also sends out a message of consistency and reliability as a brand. So that's a really useful thing to do. That's like, it's a small but subtle message, but it's everything that you can throw into your branding about consistency, about using all that stuff the same all the time. It all adds up. It all adds up. Using the right fonts for your brand, using the right colors that suit your brand. It all adds in together and builds into a fully formed brand that your audience will get to know and trust. And you know you have to have trust before they will spend money with you. So thanks for watching again today, and I shall see you in your inbox tomorrow morning. Okay, bye.